Welcome back to another cult horror review. We're diving into the horror works of Dario Argento once again. After reviewing his first film, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, this time I watched Deep Red, which may just be his best movie ever. But just before we get going, if there's a cult horror movie you'd like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to never miss out on another bad movie review every Friday and cult horror movie review every Tuesday. Now, as I already said, Deep Red is my favorite of Dario Argento's. I actually saw it twice. I thought that revisiting the movie would have taken a bit of the flavor out, but no, it's still a well-crafted movie for the most part. Let's get something out of the way. I've been criticized for including giallo movies in my horror movie reviews. I've been told that giallo is quite different from horror and that I should have done my homework before making those reviews. Well, I disagree. Sure, the giallo genre is not purely horror, nobody's ever said that. Like I said before, there are several elements of crime drama, of mystery thriller, but there are, without a single doubt, and no one can contradict me on this, horror elements in there, and a lot of giallo films can be scary and even horrifying. Just like a lot of David Cronenberg's movies like Scanners or The Fly are not purely science fiction, there's definitely a lot of horror injected into these films, so there you go, that's my case. Deep Red follows the same story as The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. An English pianist living in Rome witnesses the ghastly murder of a German psychic while out on a stroll one night. He starts obsessing on finding the murderer, so he embarks on a journey with a journalist and another guy to uncover this dazzling mystery. Little by little, he starts finding out that the murder may be connected to an old folktale of ghosts and a supposedly desolate haunted house. Deep Red has got way more class than a lot of its predecessors. I like the use of glossy and shiny colors, especially the red, which fits well with the title. But the editing is also very good. Argento really tried to pay attention to every little detail. In all giallo movie tradition, the serial killer once again returns with that signature long black coat, black hat, and black leather gloves. Once again, during the scenes where the only thing showed are the gloves, Argento was the one wearing them. What also really spooked me out is that just before the killer is about to strike, he plays this haunting children's music. It really stuck into my mind afterwards. The script is much better than the one of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. There's more space for character development, which I really liked. We get to focus on the character of Marcus, played by David Hemmings. He brings a solid lead performance to the table. But it can also be kind of trashy. Another thing to note about Deep Red is that it shows more gore than other previous giallos. Every time a character gets murdered, we see this very glossy and flashy red blood drip. It reminded me of the special gore effects from Dawn of the Dead. But beware, 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 because it wasn't until the end of the movie that I found out that I was watching the American cut version, which means that there was over 20 minutes of film that was cut out, including some of the most violent scenes. So yeah, I was completely bamboozled and it bugged me. But the original cut, which was the one that I first saw, is just over 2 hours long, and that's the one that I would recommend watching. And something else that I must mention, it's the music. Wow, that rock and roll inspired drum heavy music actually had me jamming while I was watching this. I wasn't surprised to learn that the composers were none other than Goblins, the same rock group who composed the magnificent scores for Dawn of the Dead and Suspiria. Gee, I should have known. And of course, it finishes with a twist ending that, even after seeing it twice, I really wasn't expecting that. Overall, I really recommend Deep Red, and not just for horror fans, but for cinephiles in general. I think that it satisfies a lot of different publics.